This video is brought to you by
I see you, sis. I see you, sis.
Yeah, baby. Got that cool green, baby. Got that cool green. We ice.
You already know what it is. Cool green clothing. We done gone worldwide, and we coming straight out of Baltimore. If you're in town, come on down at 215 West Saratoga Street and shop with us. And if you're not in town, go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. For most people that are trying to live a normal, traditional life, find a career, a significant other, have kids, the white picket fence, which some might consider the so-called American dream. Nothing feels better than feeling like you have completed your goals. When you have a stable job at a decent company, come home every day to a partner and kids that love you, you really can't ask for more in life than that. And most relationships, especially once you are older, is definitely for a purpose. Rather life partners, wanting somebody to navigate this crazy world with. Some people might even have problems, but put their pride to the side and stay together for the kids' sake. Some hold on to love and are hopeless romantics. They envision a perfect life with a perfect family. Well, most women, if you sit down and ask them what they are looking for in a man, they will say a protector, provider, someone who has principles and morals and knows themselves. There's a lot of options out here, but if someone bags a certain type of individual, they feel lucky, like a doctor, lawyer, judge, even a police officer. Besides, you can't ask for a better protector as a woman, right, than a man who took an oath to protect and serve. But we often hold people like that up on a pedestal, feeling like they don't have problems, emotions, and feelings just like us, even though we all know we are all human. And what happens when someone with some kind of authority and access decides they don't want the relationship to end, even though you are done with it? And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be taking it all the way back to 2013 to discuss the case of a police officer who snapped when his girlfriend tried to end their relationship. Back in 2013, 49-year-old James Smith had a lot going on for himself. The military vet who had served his country in Desert Storm, then after decided to be a Baltimore City police officer and serve his community. By 2013, James was seasoned. The motorcycle officer had over 20 years on the force, with a high rank to the point when the president and other high-profile people came to town, he was called personally to lead the motorcade. Outside of his career, James also had made a good family life. He had a long-term partner, 37-year-old Miss Kendra Diggs. Kendra herself was also established in her line of work. She had been a bus driver for the MTA for years and enjoyed providing service for the people in the city. The two shared the 5-year-old son together, who lived with them at their home in the 1100 block of North Parish Street, right off of Riggs Avenue in the Sandtown area of the city. But both had at least one other child, Kendra an older son and James a daughter. Their relationship was serious, as James decided to even propose to Kendra, and it seemed that the couple would live happily ever after. But soon, it would be trouble in paradise. Somewhere in the mix of their engagement, it was questions concerning cheating allegations. It's speculation on who felt who was stepping out on who. But things got so bad to the point Kendra decided the engagement wasn't important, and she wanted James out the home. This would go on for a minute, the back and forth, until May 7th, 2013. That day, Kendra called James' supervisor and told him she was in fear for her life, and he was acting erratic Every time she told him to leave the house, he would zap out and threaten her life. They attempted to calm the couple down, but it had just begun. A few hours later, another call from the home would come in. This time, Kendra pleading for help, saying James had put hands on her. Once they responded to the home, the door was locked. They heard Kendra inside yelling for help before she managed to get out. With bruises on her face, police walked her just a few feet away from the house to talk and ask what was going on, as James had locked himself and their son in the house. She stated she wanted him to leave, and he wouldn't. She told officers her fiance kept threatening to take her life. Police, realizing James was a fellow policeman who was also a sharpshooter, asked did James have any weapons in the house. Kendra stated yes. As they continued to try to open the door to get to James, he decided he would go by a window with his firearm in his hand. As Kendra told police to call her son to come over, she started stating the number before a shot went off, then another one, striking a woman in the head. Police scattered as they realized the shots was coming from the house, and they noticed James shooting out the window. They got in positions all around the neighborhood and called for SWAT and backup, as James had barricaded himself in the house and was a sharpshooter, and the man was heavily armed. Due to the circumstances and bullets flying around, they were not able to get Kendra and pull her away from the location where she was shot at until a little bit after an hour. And unfortunately, they soon realized the woman had passed away from her injuries. They called in a negotiator and somebody to talk to James, as they found out he could have been suffering from an episode caused by PTSD from his years in combat. They didn't want no one else to get hurt, including his son. They pleaded with the man to surrender, as the neighborhood was blocked off. He himself wouldn't come out, but he agreed to let his son out the house, in which he was released unharmed. But James decided he wasn't giving up just yet. Over 5 hours would go by before finally they were able to convince the man to surrender. He was quickly taken into custody, charged with the murder of his fiancée. As Kendra's family got the news, they were devastated and some angry, as they felt police failed in their job of getting her to safety. They felt they didn't respond to the first call and the second call when they came out. Some felt they should have put her in a patrol car or got her away from the house, knowing that James was a trained sharpshooter and guns were all over the house. Being a police officer, James was sent to protective custody and was held at Maryland Reception, Diagnostic, and Classification Center for his own safety and was given a no bail. During his first court date, James' mental state came to question, as he cried in the courtroom, looked back at his daughter and his mother, saying he was sorry for what he did. But James would never make it back in front of a judge for his trial date, as weeks later, he was found gone in his cell from hanging, and it was stated he did it to himself. Kendra's family would never receive justice, but the state did reward them a settlement of $800,000 as they filed a lawsuit for wrongful death. Rest in peace to Kendra. I send my prayers and condolences to her family, and rest in peace to James as well. I pray that his son is doing well, as he lost both his parents in a matter of months. It was stated after the fact he was taken to a foster care, but Kendra's son was trying to get his little brother out and get custody. Hopefully that worked out for the family. It was never determined who thought who was cheating in the relationship, only that it was allegations and mistrust, leading to Kendra wanting the relationship to end. In my humble opinion, I feel James wasn't just going to walk away. He wanted to make sure she wasn't going to be able to move on. Sometimes when people are used to having authority and people bowing down to them, they don't like it when somebody decides to take a stand. Mental illness is often thrown around, but sometimes people know exactly what they are doing. And James was on, if I can't have you, then nobody else will type of tip. And to allegedly end it all, that was another selfish act. So he wouldn't pay for what he did. Have to answer to Kendra's family, but you left your son out here with no closure and both his parents gone. Hopefully he healed from that trauma. But I'm going to leave this one open. I'm curious. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. Leave it in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace to Kendra. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.